in Fiango this morning. As you are all aware, at 11 approximately o'clock, Amba boys of Maton, some because they were into two groups. The other one came from Ikilwindi. They came and attacked innocent students in one primary school in Fiango, in Batu subdivision. Till now, those children have been seriously touched, and I have today 6 of them killed, 13 seriously injured, and the remaining one taking treatment in the other small structure in town. This drastic situation has forced us to look deeper and to see exactly why our innocent children. I cannot tell you lies. When all those things happened this morning, you will see me. I am still here with my silvers, even to stand. All of us are parents. Even if you are Amba, you have children. To kill innocent children for no reason, even Almighty God can never forgive you. If they are fighting, our children are free to go back to school because they have spent 3 years without going to school. Now, that's why I told that, like those who are managing the town, because this thing happened inside the town and during the day. Even if you cannot go and help the SDO who is in difficulty, because this man is a very wicked man, but they are killing innocent children in front of you, and you are not doing anything. That school is surrounding by the whole population houses. But all those things happen. None of them stand and say, no, you are not right to kill them. Their death is also in our own conscience. Because today is the child of somebody else. Tomorrow can be your own child. If you are not helping the child of your neighbor, who is going to help your child? That is why I want us to take our own responsibility. Mayors, city mayors, city mayor, headquarter heads, to see how we can save Kumba. To see how we can save Kumba. But I am going to say it openly here. And those boys should take it like a challenge. Very soon. Just wait and see. I said the same thing to Ivo. I said the same thing to that man of Lady Alem. Are you okay? And I am telling them, Ekeku, Pitacola, Cargo, Milpet, all of them above the law. They are going to know that they are under the law. We started a little bit late because I was also following once in a similar meeting chaired by the PM himself after what happened in Kumba. They have just finished. The first instruction the SDO has received is that I should be at my best or all my best in order to arrest those boys. And the forces of law and order will continue to hunt them. It's just the beginning. They are saying in my dialect that if you shake the tree, support all the you know it? Yeah, the debris. All the debris will fall on your head. They have shaken the whole Meme division. The whole Cameroon by killing innocent children. Just wait and see. The Lord Mayor Jacob K. They cannot tell me that in Fiango they don't know where.
I know my terrain so well. The lady in question happens to be a headmistress of government primary school, Kumba. Now, she is one of those ladies. In fact, if I can say, she is the main woman who had given us enrollment since the start of this crisis, when the whole situation all started in 2016. And she is a proprietress of Mother Francisca Nursery and Primary School, gazetted, meaning she is authorized by the Ministry of Basic Education to run a nursery and primary school education. The part of the secondary school which is affected today, I have struggled since morning when all of this came up. I struggled to get to her, to no avail. But recently I struggled at the late hours of this evening. I got information that she has been picked up by the Central Police, where she is presently. And what she told me is that the former divisional delegate of secondary education visited her secondary school, which is Mother Francisca College, which is affected today by the separatist fighters, and asked her to continue while the documents are in process in Yaoundé.
Who asked?
The divisional delegate of late, not the present divisional delegate. Divisional delegate of late asked her to continue with her. The present divisional delegate is out of the situation. It is a situation where he is not involved. So, what I'm trying to say here is that this lady is a woman that promotes education as it comes to Fiango, Kumbatu in general.
That means, according to you, if you can say that the primary school has been authorized.
Perfectly well,
but
sir.
The secondary school.
This school is not in a forest. It's not in a secluded area. It is in the middle of, I would say, Amelike Street in Kumbatu subdivision. There are houses in front of this school. It is right at the street. And of course, there are number of houses directly behind this school, not up to 20 meters away from the campus of this school. So how come nobody could come to help or rescue for these children? It is a story we cannot tell enough. It is so sad. What we need is civil courage. We need civil courage. Everybody in Kumba, in the Med Division, we all, like the SDO said some few minutes ago, we have to go absolutely into this fight, like the Kumba 2 mayor.
Really an embarrassment and an repeating situation that happened in my municipality. In fact, I was surprised. Although we are terming them to be children of other people, those children belong to us. They are our children. We should not be expecting tomorrow that other things to happen to other people that we know that is their children. Those children belong to all of us. But what I saw today is uncalled for. A beautiful situation. I was there and I had to call, in fact, sorry. I had to call the people I saw around that area of that school who belong to my municipality. In fact, paid me because it was happening in my municipality. I had to talk to them because when this incident was taking place, all of them saw when those children were going there. None of this is the situation. So I now believe that they are also part of what was happening. Right? It was unfortunate that when I stood up, I saw my new city mayor was there, all of us were there. I called the crowd and talked to them. Now that they have declared war against our own children, the parents of that municipality and my own self will now declare war on them. And we are ready to fight because those children are innocent children. Those children belong to us. Whether the school was legal or illegal, the proprietress of that school was trying to push that education should go on in Kumba 2 subdivision. So I was impressed that the school was going on to make sure that all our children to go back to school. So for today, it has happened. But I want to assure you, Mr. Ezio, that me, I have nothing to regret at my age. With my collaborators of Kumba 2 and the parents of Kumba 2, since they are not willing to identify the culprits of Kumba 2, we have to develop another means of making that all of them are brought to books. Because school must go on in Kumba 2 subdivision. And I want them to know that I, as Lord Mayor of Kumba 2 subdivision, am ready to die for Kumba 2 so that my children go back to school. They are all my children. So I don't want to blame anybody or blame the delegate or everybody, but I want to say that the proprietors of that school was doing a good thing to make sure that schools resume and people should feel that the school is Kumba 2 subdivision. We should not count mostly on the legality or illegality. It was part of us because for 3 or 4 years, no school has been going on. If it was legal, they would have informed me. At least I would have seen my DO and maybe would have put in security there for today. But since that's happened, we have to look for a way forward. And the way forward is that we should die for our children to go back to school. This incident should not make them to stay back, that they will not go back to school. So what they are doing today, the separatists, what they are doing today, I want to make them know that, and I'm declaring publicly that what they are doing is small. We fought for the Makiza in this country. What they are doing, they are just apprentices here. Right? So I just want to make them know that what they are doing, I, Jacob K, have declared that today I'm going to fight them and make sure that my municipality people go back to school. Thank you, Mr. Henry.
Witnesses who were present and saw this act coming into place. They even saw these guys whilst they were riding to their site of atrocity. They said they passed by Diligent, there weren't children there. They passed by Star Bilingual because the proprietor of Star Bilingual, which is a neighboring school to this, Mother Francisca or so, was also there, and they reported vividly what transpired. But what I cannot understand is exactly what my dear collaborator also mentioned, that neighbors will see armed persons, armed, unauthorized armed persons, civilians, and they will not alert the forces of law and order. They saw them riding their bikes to this third school that they were visiting.
Or electorate. Enough. I'm going to have a meeting with them after this general one in order to see the way forward together. Do you know a delegate of women empowerment?
Yes, sir.
The woman in town, they are the one hiding those boys also. Tell them that it's time for them to do everything to present those boys to the forces of law and order. Because what happened in Kumba today is, I'm telling you, a very dramatic.
What struggle are people fighting for? And we're sitting there. Yes, I did not go to the site. News is coming. The school is not an isolated place where it's in the bush. There are houses all around. Those who are perpetrating these things, who cannot report, who are seeing things that they're shutting their mouth, it could have been your child. It could have been your own child. Are your own children not going to school? It happened to the environment that happened today.
Is somebody I have never met. If you put her here today, I can't say that this is the lady. So after three years as divisional delegate for secondary education from Meme, and I am still listening to the type of information coming from a very close collaborator. Late Paul Akoyo saw her and said that she should continue. I disagree in complete clearly to such. Okay, yes, Late Akoyo was replaced on the 23rd of August 2017. Between August 2017 and today, she would have come to the office and say, my younger brother or my delegate, this is what your father left. What do you think we should do about it? I swear before God and man, I was going to that campus. I was going to that area of Kumba for the first time in my life. And the CEO for Kumba took and bear me witness. I worked very closely with him. But I saw today I've never seen my 24 years in service. I cried in the hospital like a child. It is true that the school is, I don't call it an unauthorized school. An unauthorized school in secondary education means a school whose documents have come to the office and we have rejected it for one reason or the other. That is what is an unauthorized school. This is a completely clandestine school. Sincerely, if that school was a government school, I would have been fired today. The principal would have been fired today. What that woman has done, she will not know what she has done. Being only in the Kumba Central Police is so modest.
I know the situation. It's time for us to know the truth. Because all those humanitarians, all those boys who are living abroad are the one giving instruction to those living in Meme and other division to kill innocent people. Some of us are given forum to them to talk rubbish when you have never, I don't know, faced this kind of situation. You cannot understand. We need the truth, because each of us is parent. We need the truth. Since all those things happened, since this morning, you are all aware. What are they saying? Nobody's talking now. No, the press. I'm talking of humanitarian and so on. Those who are coming to help us, without any problem, they will be permanently welcome. But it's also good for each of us to say the truth. Sako, Tapa, Evo, or they are living, where do you know? With their families there, in those areas. But their boys are killing innocent people. I said it, I'm taking this commitment. I'm not alone, all of us. We should send away those boys from mitigation. By all means. By all means. Now, the males are there, as I said.
We have struggled all in our power to ensure that children go back to school. Children went back to school with all enthusiasm, with all happiness. Where you hit the streets at 7:30, 7 o'clock in the morning, you see how jam-packed those streets are because children are going back to school. Then you hear that something like this happens. It's a shame.
Measures. That's why you should know it very well. That means she moved where she was not supposed to. Illegally now?
Yes.
Because the person will telling me that this secondary school is there according to the law, is the General Delegate of Secondary Education. And it look like he's not aware of what you're talking about. And also, you should know it very well. The General Delegate of Secondary Education cannot ask somebody to start, and we are going to know later. A team, according to what they said to the news this evening, a team is supposed to come from Yaoundé, come and see family affected, in order to give to them the support of the father of the nation. You see how to support them. Not financially, not but and let the population of Mali be reassured that Cameroon is a state of the law, and the law will prevail. Which is what I had to share with you this evening, while waiting for the team which is supposed to join us in that coming from Yaoundé, sent by the PM in that difficult and strategic and difficult situation. That school, who is the perpetrator?
I consider myself to be like one of those parents. If you're a parent and you don't give your child education, what are you giving that child? What do you want to make that child to be in the future? And if you struggle to do that, and it happens that the ineligible right that the child deserves, going to school, if you, as a parent, you refuse your child going to school because you are afraid that that child is going to die, tomorrow that child can even hold you.
We have spoken a lot already today, I personally, and we will continue to speak because we cannot speak enough. Since this happened in the morning, whilst we were actually doing sports at GBTTC, that is when we saw a lot of bike riders running helter-skelter with half-dead children on their bikes, with people seated behind the bikes struggling to support the children so that they could get to the hospital. The SDO of Kumba 3 was on that same pitch. We were trying to keep fit in the morning. And what we had to do was to run over to the district hospital to find out exactly what was going on. When we arrived there, we met this pitiful situation which no word can describe. The actions we could take followed suit. We became medical doctors and nurses because we were forced to help, of course, the medical staff that was at the hospital doing a marvelous job, which was pretty difficult, treating children who were in a state whereby blood was oozing out of their heads, their chests, their belly, intestines coming out and all that. I don't want to, give an information that maybe some ears might not be able to manage, but that is the situation which we lived this morning. And I bet you since then, we have not had any rest. Finally, we had to, with the SDO of Kumba 1 and the État-Major, and of course, the SDO move over to the site to make sure that we assess what actually happened. We had some very vivid reports also at the...
To end it, I will reiterate my heartfelt condolences to all the families that have been shedding tears since in the morning at the hospital, at the crime scene, till this very moment. To add to what the city mayor-elect said,
We are going to do our best together. Together. I say together in order to keep safe this school. I will continue to need the sincere collaboration of the whole population. The whole population. I say it previously. It was their case today, tomorrow can be yours. But people have decided also to go and create small school in their houses, and it becomes difficult for us to know exactly where all those schools are operating.
as my colleague, the mayor of Kumba 2, have explained in great details how we all feel about what happened today. I will have to extend my heartfelt condolences to the families that have been affected by this barbaric incident that occurred in the morning. While we share in the grief, I think we all have it in our mind, even before we were elected mayors, that we were coming in at a very difficult time. We have expected events like this over the months.
We should do our best in order to avoid such a situation in the future in the main division. Now let me say something to the press.
Because of other duties and
You sit down.
Une mission interministérielle se rend sans délai à Kumba dans la région du Sud-Ouest pour évaluer la situation sur le terrain, apporter le réconfort du chef de l'État et du gouvernement aux populations affectées et réaffirmer la détermination de la République à garantir la sécurité des personnes et des biens pour sauver les...
On m'avait toujours dit